Well, and it comes right down to it. This Hillary is pretty damn stupid. I have to tell you, I saw something. Actually, it was from a couple months ago. One of her supporters suggested to her that she appoint Barack Obama as a Supreme Court justice, and she was, oh, whoa, I never thought of that, and no, I'll point to the link on that video where she said that, but it's so ludicrous for her to even react like that because doesn't she realize that would be blocked right off the bat? But it does tell me that she could be set up into a trap pretty easily. And really, what the problem is, we got a number of people in the government that are just as corrupt as her, and everybody's getting paid. But the real thing that's going to bring these people down, I think, is the fact that even if people in the government that are acting in their own self-interest and are still getting paid, the fact that these type of corrupt people are around, it's actually going to ruin it for everybody all the way around because we're going broke. The $19 trillion plus in government debt is going to mean that the pay and bennies and everything that these people expect for the retirement is not going to be there if they're a government employee going along with this garbage that's going on right now. I don't know if they believe it or not. Maybe they're that stupid, but if they're that stupid, they can be outsmarted at any time. But I found it very interesting that she came up and she didn't even think of that. Like, first off, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's a number of people that would probably be just as good as Justice Scalia. Um, but me, if I was in the driver's seat, and I would play dirty tricks all the way, just the way the Clintons did. I know a lot of times people say you shouldn't be doing that because you should be taking a moral high ground. Well, the hell with that bullshit. They set the rules. That's the rules. You know? It's like the enemy decided to use poison gas. The enemy decided to use flamethrowers. The enemy decided to use, cluster bombs on civilians. Well, we go ahead and do the same damn thing. That's the way I look at it. You know, if politics gets dirty like that, dirty goes right back. Um, I don't want to say anything, but there's 4 liberal judges on this damn thing, and if they all went down to Mexico and they had a golf tournament and they drank the water and they all died, too bad. That's the way I look at it. And it'd be 4 vacancies. So that's the way I play the game. And I'm surprised some other people aren't playing the game that way too. But the problem is that we all notice that the Republicans and the Democrats are all globalists at the top. I am now pretty much convinced that Trump is a patriot. He's a pretty liberal guy though, and the liberals shouldn't have a problem with him because none of the liberals aren't globalists. They're more like Bernie liberals for the most part. Why should we be spending all our money that we work for hard in the United States on the IMF and foreign aid and all this kind of garbage like that? Even if you're a liberal and you believe in all these social programs to excess, you at least want the money spent here, right? For crying out loud. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, more or less, I guess you can go too far with the social programs, but they ain't such a bad thing, They ain't such a bad thing. But we waste more money on the IMF supporting foreign aid to other countries. And now I'm not saying nuts. Well, there's some countries I think we should have foreign aid to. I don't want to say what they are right now because that's so damn politically incorrect on YouTube. But the thing is, when Barack came in, I don't really think a lot of people were that much fooled by him. It's just that Mitt Romney was the guy that nobody wanted either. They just figured he was more of the same. He was a continuation of Bush. So when he saw the change word, he said, oh, let's hope for change. Change for the worst. But, where I think really, I think Hillary's not that smart. I know a lot of people think she's really smart, but, and I could bring out stuff where she flunked her bar exam initially, and she really, if it wasn't for Bill Clinton, she would have never got ahead on anything. That's a fact, right? I mean, she's not that intelligent. She's not that intelligent. She talks like she knows a lot, but even like when I look at not just the things with politics where she needed Bill Clinton to get ahead, but I also look at even on her day-to-day life. I mean, she hasn't even driven a car or done laundry. I don't think she's ever done laundry, maybe back when she was in college days. But she doesn't know anything about the practical world that people live in. and yet she's saying, "Oh, I'm here for all the people" and all that garbage. But it tells me that somebody could suggest to her, like, "Oh, I'm surprised it thought." See, what got me was this is what got me, and it just made me realize she's got no shrewdness in her at all. She's evil, she's vicious, but she's got no shrewdness in her. I mean, almost zero. It's like anybody that has half a brain. The problem is a lot of people don't have half a brain, don't see it, But she's very, you can very much read her. And that's why she's a real problem, I guess, with our enemies too in the world. But when say for instance Gaddafi got killed, the way she laughed about it. I mean, she didn't even play it off like that's terrible or something. Even if she thought the guy should have been killed, she couldn't even freaking keep her cool when they were grilling her on Benghazi. What difference does it make? The only reason she's in power is because everybody else in government that's on a grain dole. I mean, I'm talking about, not. I mean, I have less problem with somebody getting, food assistance and housing assistance, and even if they don't deserve it, say for instance, I have less problem with that than some jerk that's in the government with authority getting paid to screw us over. Somebody taking some money someplace to, just get them by or just to live, fine. But they're not running our lives. You know what I mean? When you're just helping other Americans out. But when you got people in the government that are actually part of the corrupt system. See, there's a people in the government all know all the details about Hillary Clinton. I knew when I was in military, I knew a lot of stories from, I wasn't stationed in Washington, D.C., but, I heard a lot of stuff about when Bill was in president and what a lot of stuff that went on in D.C. I heard it from, well, I don't want to say like some Marine officers that were, their father was former Secret Service, and they were always kept in contact with people in the Secret Service, and, stories get around in the grapevine. I don't want to say a lot of stuff here on that YouTube, so freaking say it's advertiser unfriendly, but the lady is a freak and a half, and she's a nutcase. And the only reason she's in power is because, this would never work in a freaking private enterprise because, the money would have to be coming from not taxpayers, but from people that actually, work, bought something from the enterprise, either was a service or a good. In her case, but like I see it, like I don't think she's got any real shrewdness on her. Bill's got the shrewdness. Not her. Not her. And just the fact, the way she reacted to, like, oh, I never thought of that. It never crossed my mind to appoint Obama as Supreme Court Justice. I would have thought of that right away, man. I mean, if I was her. For crying out loud. And the fact that she came out and said that like that, I was like, lady, man, you're not the brightest bulb in the freaking place, that's for sure. And the other thing is, I could tell you that something really wrong with her is how easily she was turned from a Barry Goldwater girl. She goes to college for like a couple years or a year and a half, and she's already Marxist left wing to the max. She's easily influenced. Which, in a way, you never know. I mean, there could be a surprise. If she ever got in, there could be a surprise where, she could change and the elite might find out they got a problem on their hands. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? I'm not saying that she would be a good, well, you don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that, a miracle happened, she'll be a good person. What I'm saying is she might just change her mind about the way she thought about things before. And considering she just does what the hell she wants to do, she's a person the elite don't control. Which is kind of funny with this election because between Trump and Hillary, they got two people on both sides they really can't control. On the surface, it looks like Hillary's a globalist and a Marxist and all that. But then again, they can't control her that well. And she's stupid. She reveals her cards very easily. That's where, and she doesn't have that thing where she has that charisma with the public where she talks to people and she makes that connection. She doesn't have that. Ted Cruz doesn't have that either. Bill Clinton had it. I don't like Bill Clinton. I mean, Bill Clinton's not necessarily like if I was hanging out with him or something, hanging out with the broads or something. But I mean, if I was on a one-to-one basis, I'd probably like the guy. But I mean, as far as his policies, and I know what Bill Clinton talked about, the Republicans and their old corruption and Bohemian Grove, and I know they're all a bunch of crap, but that doesn't mean you got to be that way too. But this lady's got no shrewdness at all, and that just the way she reacted to that suggestion about Obama being Supreme Court Justice, like, oh, I never thought of that. Really, really never thought of that. I would have, you know, I would have played that off, no problem. But the fact that I just told you some of that stuff, like, yeah, okay, I was in the military, right? But I heard, I heard a lot of stuff about, when LBJ was president. Man, I don't want to, I don't want to drop these dimes. I mean, you might find some of these stories on the internet, and you might think they're crazy stories, and I don't know what stories are out there on the internet. But I heard it directly from a Marine officer who was the son of a Secret Serviceman, and you know, even the stuff that happened during LBJ's time is crazy. But all these guys keep their mouths shut because I know on the surface they say we got a job to do. It's not our, we got to protect the president. The American people elected this piece of crap or whatever the hell they are. So we got to protect him. But really, when you get down to the nitty gritty, what all these people are about that protect the president and protect, everybody in Washington D.C., they're about their pay and bennies. Yeah, they got patriotism and stuff, but they're not going to do it for free. They're not going to do it if all the pay that they've been promised for 20 years of retirement for government service would not be there. And I can tell you one thing. Hillary Clinton is going to be one of the people that is going to make sure that these people they have absolutely no future. And if we get taken over from a world government, the first people that the world government would kill is people that protected the president. So I like to put this out here because I'm thinking through this whole deal. If I was Secret Service, I'd be thinking, this isn't a matter of like I'm protecting the Constitution and the American people. I'm protecting my own ass, my future, and not only my future for retirement, which I'd be thinking about, if I get 20 years of Secret Service, but what would happen if the United States gets pushed into a global Marxist dictatorship? And here, I got a background of being a guy that was protecting the American way of life and to protect president. They'd kill me. They would kill me. I don't know if these guys are thinking about that, but maybe they're thinking real short term, but they ought to be thinking about it. So if Hillary gets in president, I know all these people in government, they do a lot of stuff that they're not supposed to. And they ought to be doing some stuff they're not supposed to that's actually going for a good cause once in a while, which is tripping up the bitch. If you get my drift. She's not that smart. That's what cracks me up about this deal. But I realize her supporters are dumb. I personally, I don't give a damn if a woman was a president, but not that witch. I'm crying out loud. That's the Wicked Witch of the West. She'd literally be riding around on a broom. You know. Now some people say a woman can't be president, but I don't know. Sometimes women are pretty good in jobs. I mean, you look at some of the queens of England, Queen Victoria, who is who the hell is that? She's my. You're gonna freak out. People ain't gonna believe this shit. How many greats is that? That's my 1, 2, 3. No, I think it's my 3 greats grandmother, or 2 greats grandmother, 3 greats grandmother. Yeah. I'm trying to think back. It's 1 great grandmother, 2. Yeah, 2 greats grandmother. She's my 2 greats grandmother. I think that's what it is. Queen Victoria. She did a good job of running England, UK, during the Victorian age. I'm illegitimate. My great grandfather was illegitimate though, so nothing I got counts. You know what I mean? But the story is pretty damn locked on from like all different angles. But yeah, she, this lady, man, I don't know. She's pretty stupid, man. She could talk though, but that's like how attorneys talk. Attorneys can talk. I can talk too. I've actually have noted been being like, I don't really talk like this all the time with clients. I have to put another act on what I was doing in a CPA firm, but I've been noted for being very influential with clients, and I could just impromptu bring up a subject and blah blah blah, and convince people of shit and all this kind of crap. I don't like doing that because that's for you know big money bullshit. I'm actually here to try to help out the average people, regular people. Um, but I see two things that are probably going to come up with Hillary. One is there's going to be some things I think the elite are going to find out she ain't going to be playing ball with because that's just how she is. And number two, there's going to be a lot of little rebellions behind the scenes without her even knowing about it. And she's not going to trust anybody, and she's not going to get along with anybody. And that's probably going to freaking put her in the grave a lot faster, too. But she's not that smart. She's not that smart. Not at all. Not at all. I've seen a lot of women that are a lot smarter than her. She doesn't have that shrewdness. So, but she's cold. That's where she makes up for it. She is cold as ice, man. But, so are a lot of other people, No problem. Anyway, over now, I just want to freaking tell you this story about her because, if the worst comes about and she wins and you're hearing all this shit, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The future's not ours to see. We'll find out when it happens.